Hey, buddy. Another episode of Growing Up with Uncle Bubba. Today is the 4th of July, 2021. Uncle Bubba's about to go hang out with some people and shoot some fireworks and have some fun. Was meditating on another video to do for you before we start doing handiwork videos in the next week or two. And Uncle Bubba has recently started dating again, and Uncle Bubba's not as smart as he would like to be, so sometimes I have to write things down to remind myself because I don't trust myself. So I was thinking about dating and my mistakes in the past, and I'm no expert on what a relationship, finding a good relationship, based on previous experience. But I am pretty well versed in what not to do. So Uncle Bubba's going to give you some dating red flags for people in their 20s. If you're 16, some of these probably won't apply to you. You're going to have to learn some of this through the School of Hard Knocks. But if you're in your 20s, this will probably be significant, be good advice, hopefully. Forewarning, I'm not taking any shots at anybody with any of this. I do my insulting directly, and if I mean you insult, I will. You'll know that I'm insulting you. But that said, if any of this hits home or makes you feel insulted, if the shoe fits, you can lace it up, put it on. I don't care. Anyway, dating in your 20s, red flags. First one, and again, there are exceptions to all of these. Play it by ear. It's just general advice. Not true in every circumstance, but from my general observation, good advice. If they weren't old enough to vote in the last election, obviously you might be 2019 watching this, doesn't apply, but I'm 26, so they weren't old enough to vote in the last election, probably decent idea to leave them alone. Parents claim them on their taxes. Again, if you're young, probably won't apply to you, but I'm 26 and trying to find an adult relationship. And if they're 25, 26 and their parents are still paying for everything, you might want to leave them alone. Festival chicks. Not going into this one. Probably a bad idea. Redheads. Again, not always true. It's safe to assume that every woman starts out as a 6 crazy. It's also fair to assume that if they're redheaded, you might want to just start them out at an 8 and hope to be pleasantly surprised. But redheads, proceed with caution. All right, named after a place. I don't get this one, but Pawpaw told me that, and he's been around, and I trust his advice. So named after a place, tread lightly. Divorcee / more than one engagement. Again, stuff happens. People get divorced, but if you've got more than one divorce or more than one engagement and you're only 25, you might want to give them a minute to figure some stuff out. Maybe circle back to them. If they're at your house the day after they end a long-term relationship, don't want to fool with them. All right, if they can get over that dude in 24 hours, it's probably a bad idea for you to get romantically involved, because if they do it to them, trust me and hear me, this one's important, they will do it to you. Don't think that you're special. Stay away from them. All right, this one's more of a personal preference on my part, but if they don't like country music, you can't make people have taste, but you don't want to be a country music fan running around with somebody who only listens to dubstep. You're not going to have a good time. All right, more than one baby daddy. Again, stuff happens, but tread lightly. All right, has been romantically involved with one of your friends. Just don't do that. I'm not even going to sugarcoat this one. It's not a good situation. If they've been with one of your buddies, just put them in the platonic zone. All right. They demand trust without inspiring it. And this is one where you're already in the relationship probably, but somebody's saying you should just trust me, but they're exhibiting behaviors that would make you not want to trust them. Like Betty used to say, if it looks like cow shit, it smells like cow shit, it's cow shit. You can dress it up, it's cow shit. All right, they can't hold their liquor. So some people can't drink very much, but if you're in your 20s and y'all are doing a fair bit of drinking, you're going to have a relationship established on trust. And if you're dating somebody who's going out to the bar, you need to be able to trust that they can go out and drink and have more than 2 mixed drinks and not become a stupor, because that just leads to a whole world of problems that you don't want to fool with, trust me. All right, gaslighters. These are people who piss down your boots and tell you it's raining. And if you have a heart like mine, you might believe them and feel like an asshole for pretty reasonable stuff. So if you think somebody's screwing you and you say, hey, that's not cool, and they try to make you feel bad about it, just cut them, let them go. All right, middle children. Not going to go too hard into that one, just proceed with caution with middle children. All right, has a non-comedic 10-inch toy. Maybe this won't be a problem for you. Some people, nothing wrong with it, but it's been my observation that leave them alone. They might be fun to have as a friend, run around with, but probably not going to want to date that one. All right, they can't shoot. You try to find somebody you can depend on when crap hits the fan. It's a big one for me. So if they can't shoot, you can try to teach them how to shoot, but they shoot too well. Just don't. Prefers hanging out with guys because they're less drama. Again, they might be nice to have as a friend, but probably don't want to date that one. All right. Is vague about consent. I want you to hear this one because this one is probably the biggest one on here. All joking and ribbon aside. Consent is absolutely 100% important. You get it every time. I don't care how long you've been with them. You need a hard yes. A very solid one before you do any adult activities with somebody. And it's unfortunate, but there are women out there who will imply consent. Don't take an implication, okay? You get a hard yes. This is what you want to do. You get it twice. I'd be tempted to get it in writing sometimes, but I get at least 2 or 3 yeses before anything happens. And if they are vague, when you ask them if they want to, put your pants on and leave. All right? Don't leave. Run. Especially if it's more than once. It's okay for a girl to be hesitant because you understand women are concerned about their reputation and your view of them. Most women don't want to be pegged as easy. But if they are back and forth, leave. Leave. Okay? All right. Cosmetologists. Again, exception to every rule, but generally speaking, be careful. Double first name. These are your Debbie Lynn's, Martha Ann's. Again, maybe an exception there, but all right, last one. Doesn't understand any words over 3 syllables. Don't date an idiot. It's a whole mess of problems. It's cute at first. She's just blonde-headed. Don't partner up with an idiot. You're gonna have a bad time. And again, these are all just general observations that I've made on things to not do or things to be careful of, and not taking any shots at anybody. And none of these are hard laws to live by, but just generally, if some of this stuff pops up, you need to stop and think about it for a second. Make sure you're not doing something bad. And if you're not sure, you can call me if I'm around, and if I think you running off with somebody you shouldn't be running off with, I'll tell you. Your mother will definitely tell you, and you should have at least one good friend who will tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, because those aren't really good friends, even if you don't want to hear it. And if your friend tells you, hey, she's probably a bad idea, you should probably definitely stop and think about it. And there are friends who you'll have through your life who'll try to throw a wrench in a good relationship just because they suck. But if you have that one friend that you really trust, who you know or wants the best for you, and they say, hey, that's a bad idea, probably stop and really think about it pretty hard. Anyway, I love you, buddy. Best of luck. look forward to being around to walk you through all this. I love you.